Hello, everyone. John Bruna here with the Daily Quote. And first and foremost, want to wish you a happy new year. Today is the Tibetan New Year. It's a lunar calendar, very similar to the Chinese one, but calculated a little differently. So in the Tibetan calendar, today is a new year. Call it Losar. Let's go ahead and get to today's quote on this first day of a Tibetan New Year. How people treat us is a reflection of their emotional and mental state, not us. If we can remember this, we can learn to skillfully and compassionately respond in healthy ways to difficult interactions. Well, this is a lifesaver for me. I remember learning this viscerally one time, one day, many years ago when I was a high school teacher, and another teacher, a colleague actually, was very upset and yelling at me right in front of students during a passing period and created quite a scene. And, initially I was, pretty upset, ready to just lash back. And as he's yelling at me, you could just see the anger in his face, the frustration. And fortunately, he yelled long enough that I did not have a chance to yell back. And a little bit of realization popped in, and that was that he's suffering. People don't yell in anger when they are happy, right? It just doesn't work that way. They're suffering. And fortunately, yeah, he yelled at me long enough that, I saw his face. I saw his suffering. I saw his struggle. And rather than when he finished, yell back or get defensive, I was able to say, I'm sorry. I can see you were upset. And can we talk about this? I'd like to see what I did wrong. What's there to talk about here? And it was really it just de-escalated the whole situation right there. And we went into his room, his classroom, and we talked. And yeah, as it turns out, it was a big misunderstanding. Something he thought had happened, which didn't happen. But you know, his feelings, his anger, his frustration that arose from that was real. And since that day, I notice how, my interactions with people, how it's really about their own struggles, their own needs, their own fears, their own concerns, not about me. Occasionally, yeah, I will have done something that I need to be accountable for, and I need to own that and be clear about it. But in general, all of us as human beings, we have our needs, our fears, our worries, our concerns. We're interacting with people, and we can be pretty self-obsessed and not really understanding how we're impacting others. And we can think of others as the cause of our suffering. So this bit of wisdom today, that how others treat us has a lot to do with them and their worries and their fears, their hopes, their aspirations. Not nearly as much to do with us as we think. So the idea is to understand, to not take it personally, but to respond in a healthy and meaningful way for yourself and them. And sometimes that's a good, healthy boundary. Sometimes it's a listening ear. Sometimes it's a validation of feelings. But it's never to be a doormat. As a matter of fact, when we understand that how they're treating us has to do more with them than us, you're no longer a doormat at that point. You're just seeing someone who's struggling. And then responding in a healthy and meaningful way for you and for them. This one has just been a game changer for me. I do hope you find it helpful.